Dobrý den, jsem Anna Hyžaková, bývalá Straková. Vyrostla jsem v této krajině a patřila jsem osady Nejsvětější Trojice na Cornhill.
A já jsem její dcera Michala Hyžáková. Jsem páté generace moje rodiny z Texasu.
Vítáme vás do Williamson County.
In Williamson County, the rhythm of a polka and the ringing of church bells still echo the stories of families who crossed an ocean to build a new home. In the mid-1800s, families from Bohemia and Moravia, regions of what is now Czech Republic, began leaving their homeland in search of freedom, stability, and opportunity. They were farmers, craftsmen, laborers, and people of deep faith. Many were motivated by political unrest, including the failed revolution of 1848 and by compulsory military service under the Austrian Empire. Letters from Reverend Josef Ernest Bergman encouraged Czech families to come to Texas, describing fertile land and the promise of liberty. They endured long Atlantic voyages and eventually entered Texas through ports like Galveston, and some found their way to Williamson County, first settling the town of Cornhill in 1858. Williamson County's earliest census listed no Czech-born residents, but by 1880, 124 Czech immigrants in 28 households had settled here, nearly all farmers. By 1900, that number had grown to 1,342 people in 234 households, an increase of more than 1,000% in just 20 years. 71% were from Bohemia and 29% from Moravia. They continued settling primarily in Cornhill and the eastern Blackland Prairie near Taylor, Granger, and along what is now FM 971. Granger eventually became the epicenter of Czech life in the county. By 1910, more than 3,100 Czechs lived in Williamson County, representing 7.4% of the total population. But they were not just statistics. They were families. Families like the Janiks built substantial farms near Mozo and Nazarville. The Schiller family arrived with little and were listed in 1880 as living in a tent on a Williamson County farm. Within a generation, their children became landowners, carpenters, and merchants. As settlements formed around Taylor, Granger, Friendship, Sandoval, Theon, and New Cornhill, they were not scattered households. They were intentional communities built on cooperation and resilience. But Czech families did not build their communities alone. When they settled in eastern Williamson County, they often chose land near German and Swiss immigrants who had arrived earlier. German and Czech settlers shared similar values: strong family bonds, deep religious faith, and a belief that land ownership meant independence and stability. Farming was not simply a means of income, it was a way of life. The Blackland Prairie became home to communities where German and Czech families farmed side by side, attended neighboring churches, traded livestock, and supported one another's businesses. In some areas, Catholic parishes served both German and Czech families before separate congregations were established. Protestant traditions among Moravian Czechs paralleled German Protestant structures in organization and theology. Over time, intermarriage and cooperation strengthened these ties. Rural schools, fraternal halls, and agricultural networks became places where cultures blended naturally. Historic churches like Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Cornhill, founded by Czech settlers, which still hold services today, continue to celebrate and preserve the heritage of the families who built this community. St. Cyril and Methodius Catholic Church was organized in Granger in 1891 to serve Czechs and Moravian families. Czech language schools operated in Granger, and the Moravia School served families until 1949. Fraternal organizations, such as the SPJST, founded in 1897, provided insurance, organized social gatherings, and promoted cultural preservation. These institutions strengthened not just one ethnic group, but the civic structure of the county as a whole. Saturday evenings brought polkas and waltzes played on accordions, clarinets, and horns. The traditional Czech beseda dance brought couples together in celebration. Czech-language newspapers were published in Taylor and later Granger for more than a century, preserving language and identity across generations. And from family kitchens came kolaches, pastries that would become one of Texas' most recognized culinary traditions. Granger remains a visible center of Czech heritage, where St. Cyril and Methodius Church continues to serve the community and host gatherings that celebrate its historic roots. Local SPJST lodges in Taylor and Round Rock continue the tradition of fraternal fellowship, cultural events, and community support. Church festivals, heritage gatherings, and community celebrations throughout the year feature traditional foods, music, and fellowship rooted in Czech and German traditions. Residents can attend Mass celebrations at historic Czech parishes, visit heritage cemeteries that tell the story of early settlers, and enjoy polka music and kolaches at regional festivals connected to Williamson County families. From Moravian villages to the Blackland Prairie, from a tent on open land to thriving towns, families came to Williamson County seeking land, freedom, and opportunity. They found community. They found cooperation. They found home. Williamson County has always grown stronger when new traditions are welcomed and shared. Different languages, different customs, shared values.